everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video for Soul, I am bringing in a new dimension to play with when it comes to redefining and living words, and this is using sound. So in this video and videos to come, I'm going to assist and support with how to explore yourself in a more of an experiential way when it comes to speaking words out loud and how that can assist and support in redefining them, redefining yourself, and also, living the words in a more practical, supportive way. So in other words, for me, my relationship with sounding the words and redefining and living words, started when I started realizing, the more I was expanding my vocabulary and reading up definitions of words in the dictionaries, that, I kind of feel like a robot here, that was just downloading information and knowing words and data and, the definitions to use or utilize in certain sentences, like videos or blogs, conversation, to kind of create or hopefully create those moments in other people where they go, wow, you've got a rich vocabulary. You must be clever. Wow, she must be smart, So initially, my relationship with expanding my vocabulary was more on a personal self-interest level, I realized. And the more I started expanding my vocabulary, the less I started feeling, within myself. It's like I lost touch with a part of an experience and an expression of me within myself when I was communicating, when I was doing videos, when I was blogging. I for a moment almost got so lost in wanting to be noticed, get attention, for everyone to hear or see what I'm doing, because, I've got a rich or extensive vocabulary. And just because I sound clever or I sound smart, because of my choice of words, that people might just look up and pay attention. And to some extent that did happen. But at the same time, what happened to me was I just got lost in almost studying and downloading and gathering knowledge and information and definitions of words just to describe things better. But there was no life in me, in myself as the words. I'm not saying that there was a problem to enrich your vocabulary in that way, but so many times what can happen there is a shift into a form of an intelligence, inside yourself, into that intelligent personality in terms of how and what you can utilize to describe things, to communicate, to express yourself. And once that intelligence personality takes over, you kind of get so obsessed and possessed with it. You just want more and more and more. Like, you can't get enough. And in that time, you realize you don't realize how little time you are spending actually experiencing yourself, living, developing a more of a deeper vocabulary or relationship with yourself, your body, your everyday life living. We enrich our vocabulary more mentally only, which then feeds that intelligence personality only. And we don't enrich our vocabulary in living. So what we can have a look at is redefining even that process to ensure we don't shift into that intellect persona or ego in a way, and kind of get so absorbed in just knowledge and information and data that we download from books and from media and things like that keeps us busy 24/7 without. But that we find a balance of, yes, always expanding and learning on a mental level, but also expanding and learning on a living level. And this is the dimension that's always, in a way, missed and forgotten, even though it's like right here. We are breathing, we are living, we are, in any given moment, a blank slate that can decide what word we want to redefine and live and express. So this is where it all initially started for me in, starting to look at when I do start expanding my vocabulary in words. I look at, how do I experience the word? How do I feel myself about the word? When I speak it out loud. Now, like, for example, I wouldn't just say comfortable. I would want to bring life into the word of comfortable. I want to bring me into that word. There was not enough of me, my experience, my expression, my living that was existent in the words that I was speaking or using with anyone. My words were like just this empty word, this empty shell with a definition, and that was it. And that's what made me feel just like a robot, like just a program, just emptiness, just nothing. So that in itself was quite a process in even creating that initial, okay, but what does it mean to put me in words? And that's when I realized I hadn't even started with the words I'm using in my everyday life. Like, for me, care. I really, when I was looking at when would I use the word care, I only used it in my relationship with my partner at the time, years ago. I would use it as a memory or remembrance of what I experienced with my mother. And the only moment that word would ever exist in my vocabulary was in those two instances. And that's where it all started with, okay, but if I speak the word care, if I sound it inside myself, as the word resonates within me and my body, what do I actually experience? And many can, for example, say, but isn't that feeling? Isn't that just a fleeting energy that you access for a moment? Well, what I made sure to do first is just empty my head, just clear myself, where all I'm doing is just breathing, quieting my head, focusing on the tips of my fingers and the tips of my toes, just relaxing. And I'd speak the word care and see what it does within me. And usually when I couldn't sense or feel or experience anything with just myself speaking the word, then I know, okay, there was still, something else inside of me that I had defined the word care by. And then I would look, okay, and ask myself, what's the other definitions that I've just kind of accepted and used when I use this word in my life? And, all sorts of things came up in, feeling cared only when someone does something to me or for me, or gives me a hug, or, if I give someone a hug or a kiss, that's caring. When the moment I just understood all of that and kept on speaking the word until I could really, you'll know when you speak the word and you sound it within you that you're feeling you. You have the sensation and experience that's throughout your whole self, your whole body. It's not just in your stomach area, like this fleeting energy coming up for a moment that you have access to. It's very real, and you'll know. Once I had that experience, I would ask myself, okay, how can I express this word for me first? Include this word and fulfill it with me in something that I do. And that's where I actually started asking myself, where do I feel like I'm not caring for myself in my life at the moment? And that in itself opened up a whole can of worms where I could just start practicing, adding more of this word into myself, my life, in things that I do for me and others. And that started really expanding my living reality, You know, our living experience, our living reality, our relationship with people will start expanding, and you'll start experiencing more things than you ever have before inside yourself when you start actually adding that life of you into words. All right, everyone. So we'll continue more with this in the next videos to come. Thank you very much.